Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you are all doing well. Tomorrow it's match day, and it's an important match day, Derby della Mole, against Torino, in their home. And for us international fans, we are not looking at it with the same eyes of people that are living in Italy, as the same eyes of people that are living in Torino. Because you will tell me, Beppe, it's Torino. It's a mid-table team. If we should worry about a team that is 9th in Serie A, if we should start worrying against a team that in recent results we were always able to beat, then what are we speaking about? Should we play tomorrow? Well, I can tell you that from another perspective, from the perspective of the Granata fans, this game is live or die. This game is the game that they are speaking about since weeks, that they want to play on the field since months. It's the game that they want to win. It's the game that if they win, they save their season. Even if they finish 17th, they saved their season. They would take that result, that screenshot, and they put them in the museum. I don't know if they have a museum. To tell you the importance of it. Look, if you don't believe me, look how crazy that game Torino-Juve is. Yesterday, in European Parliament, there was a member of the European Parliament, Mick Wallace, that was there, wearing the Torino shirt. After speaking, he speaks to the president, he said, President, good luck to Toro against Juve Saturday, Juve M, you know what it means, Forza Toro. The guy is totally crazy. You will tell me, Beppe, it's a prank, it is not possible. These are real things that are happening in Italy, in the European Parliament. You will tell me, Beppe, what are you speaking about? And if you think that these are things that do not happen that much, I tell you a small story. I was on holiday with my family in Torino, with my son, with my wife. At a certain moment, we go into a gelateria where they are selling ice creams. I go there, it's summer, I have short sleeves. The guy, the boss from the gelateria, the ice cream, he sees my tattoo of Juve. That's right, he doesn't want to give me that ice cream. He says, no, because you're supporting Juve. I'm watching him closely, and I see that he has a tattoo of Torino. It was a joke, it was a nice, funny situation, but I can tell you that the guy actually inside of him, he didn't want to give me that ice cream. He didn't want to give me a bit of joy of me taking an ice cream and walking in Torino. It's crazy, yeah? But this is the reality of that game. So we need to win, to beat Torino, to make sure that Torino is bianconera at the end of that game. And on top of that, we have to make sure that we win because we need to qualify to Champions League. And speaking about Champions League, well, luckily, yesterday the Italian team did well, and they are getting us closer to have a 5th spot. Of course, it would be a disaster, a shame if Juventus qualify to Champions League finishing 5th, but I take whatever it needs to take. As long as we qualify to Champions League, I take everything. This season, I want to first, priority, qualify to Champions League. Secondly, I want to win the Coppa Italia. And then we think about the next season. Yesterday, Atalanta, they won 3-0 against Liverpool in Anfield. They didn't lose there. Since 33 games, Atalanta had won. And they did a spectacular game. Not about possession. They had only 35% possession. But Gasperini was a king yesterday. He knew how to beat them. Because I love Premier League in terms of entertaining, the fast way of playing, that intensity that they are putting. But they're really strong because they are playing one side, the other. It's like a game of ping pong on a big field. While they don't care that much about tactic, they're really bad in man marking, they don't pay attention to defense, and Atalanta, they were smart. Of course, you can't beat them if you're static, if you're not able to unmark yourself. Well, Atalanta, Gasperini was able to put defensively intelligence on top of intensity because they were pressing, they were running for 95 minutes yesterday in Anfield, and they did fantastically well. So congratulations to them. Don't want to speak too much about Atalanta, but good because they won 3-0. Roma, another goal of Mancini, another assist of Paolo Dybala, another time 1-0 of the team of De Rossi. They won over Milan and then 0-0 against Fiorentina. What does that mean? That 5th spot, according to Opta analyst, is at 99.8% secured for Italy. There are 3 countries that are competing. It's Italy, England, and Germany. Well, Italy is a step closer to that 5th spot qualification, which is super important for Juventus. And for Italy, if you want to. Well, Corriere dello Sport is speaking about a video that we made yesterday. Remember that I told you that letter of Elkan, 4 keywords and a 5th one, a name that was not mentioned yesterday and that has a huge, big importance, the one of Max Allegri. Corriere dello Sport is saying, Elkan saluta Max. If you want the detail for what I consider an extremely important video, don't miss it. Go back and watch it because it's super, super nice. Nice, I mean, super important if you want to rationally speak about Juventus, a Juventus of the future. And yet today, they are speaking about it. Elkan didn't mention Max Allegri. Instead of mentioning Max Allegri, he gave all the trust to Cristiano Giuntoli, the man that will have all the power to decide the on-the-field decision, the sporting decision, from the man that he wants to be surrounded with in his management, from the people that needs to coach the team and the technical staff, from the players, all the powers to Cristiano Giuntoli, which is super important to start that new cycle, cutting from the past. And John Elkann writing it black on white is extremely important, especially for the people that were doubting at a certain moment, who is the boss at Juve? Are they unified? Are they aligned to manage a Juventus that needs, according to me, always first a strong management and then the rest is a consequence of it. Speaking about Derby della Mole, Tuttosport is going with an exclusive interview for Federico Gatti. Il mio derby mozzafiato, we know it, the family of Gatti is supporting Torino. For them it will be a tough game between the childhood team that they are supporting and the son that is playing at Juve. Well, it should not be that much a problem for Gatti. Why? Because he already showed that in this derby he's super excited. And he celebrates. And how does he celebrate? Do you remember that home game won 2-0 by Juventus with the first goal of Federico Gatti that is running all the field to go and supporting with the tifosi from the Curva Sud? It was totally a crazy emotion. And he's repeating it in that double-page exclusive interview saying, yes, the supporters, they are giving me that grinta. They are fueling me. They are giving me that energy. Sometimes I can't even breathe anymore. I can't even see clearly anymore. That much they give me passion. So beautiful words towards the supporters. But then he also spoke about Yildiz, that he's so impressive in training session. It's incredible. It's already the second player that is speaking about it. After Szczesny, today Gatti speaking about Yildiz. What is comforting the decision that whatever happens, Yildiz is the number, I wanted to say number 10, but anyway, the player to bet on for next season. He also spoke about VAR. He said, I love the vintage football. VAR is a bit annoying because we have to wait. It's cutting a bit and taking away a bit of passion. And for a passionate players, I can totally understand it. Let me know if you prefer the old vintage football or the new VAR football. Let me know in the comment section. And then he also spoke about Thiago Jallo. He said, why is he not playing? Well, he's training with us every single day. But of course, coming from a big injury, he needs time. And we will need time for him. Juventus is also taking into consideration next season to loan him out, Thiago Jallo, because he's not ready yet, according to the sources around La Continassa. Beautiful interview for Gatti that already scored 4 goals. He said, I don't care about being the center back with the most goals in Europe. I don't care about that. I'm only thinking about Champions League. And speaking about Derby della Mole, ex-Torino player, that is at the moment a Juve player, but could be next season ex-Torino and ex-Juve. We're speaking about the number 3, Gleison Bremer, because Manchester United is pushing. They are on the player, pushing, sending scouts to monitor the Brazilian defender. They really want to go for him. They can't go and paying the release clause this summer because the release clause will be active from 2025. And even if there is a big offer, Juventus can still, if they want to, increase the salary of Gleison, so to make sure that that release clause is cancelled. Juventus has all the cards in hands of the destiny of Gleison Bremer. Does that mean that he will stay? I always told you, Juventus will have to go with 1, if not 2, big sacrifices because the team needs to be totally changed. In the midfield, on the wings, in the fullbacks, Juventus needs to change, and to change, don't believe that we are rich now, that we can do whatever we want on the market. To elevate the options, to go towards, instead of these D options or C options, to think about these B or A, forget about A plus players, well, some money needs to enter. And one of the players that could potentially leave Juventus is Gleison Bremer, because Manchester United are even ready to anticipate the release clause, giving more money. Well, Giuntoli is thinking about it. How much are we speaking about? Well, this is the big question. We can monitor the other center backs that were sold in recent summers. De Ligt from Juventus to Bayern, but also Kim Min-jae from Napoli and Giuntoli sold him from Napoli to Bayern Munich. Well, these numbers were quite high, so Juventus needs to ask quite high. And I'm not that worried about. For what reason? Because Cristiano Giuntoli showed me when he arrived at Juve, the Zaccaria West Ham deal was nearly done deal. He arrived there and said, wait, we need to ask more. Or they go with the price that I am asking, or he doesn't go to West Ham. At the end, he didn't go to West Ham. He went to Monaco for the price that Giuntoli was asking. And that's why I'm sure that Juventus will ask a price for Gleison. If Manchester United, they have the money, they go for it. If the players want to go there, he can leave. Otherwise, Gleison stay at Juve. And then, unfortunately, we have to think about other players. And why am I comforted in that way of thinking of Giuntoli? Because he's doing exactly the same with Soulé. Soulé has a lot of requests. I have always thought that Soulé could leave Juventus, unfortunately, between 25 and 30 million euro. You know what? Knocking on the door. Napoli, De Laurentiis, they want Mathias Soulé. Juventus said we don't care about counterparts. We don't care about players. We are not even sure if the players will go from Napoli to Torino. No, I'm joking. Because I'm referring to the Osimhen deal. You know, you remember that deal. Well, Juventus said 40. That's what we ask for Soulé. You want him? 40 million euro. If you don't, if you are not able to send us that money, Soulé stays at Juve. Or he goes to another club. And that's why I'm thinking Soulé, Bremer, whoever will leave Juventus, it will be at the conditions of Juventus. That with that 200 million euro capital increase is not king on the market. But at least now we can put our conditions, which a few years ago we were not even able to. Gazzetta dello Sport is going towards a formation, a 4-2-3-1. That could possibly be the formation of Juventus, but I don't believe in the formation that they are showing us. Szczesny into the goal, Danilo, Bremer, Calafiori, Cambiaso. I don't believe that Bremer will be the next player or will play next to Calafiori. They are complementary. Calafiori is not replacing Bremer. They are two total different players. But I believe because of these requests, because of Juventus needing to sacrifice one player, that will not be Federico Chiesa because he's about to extend. Well, Bremer Calafiori will be a tough one. I hope so. Would be fantastic to see that four-man defense. Then, in the middle of the field, double pivot, Rabiot, Locatelli, which I also extremely doubt. Because listening a bit to what's happening online, Rabiot extending, it's not sure. It's not a certainty. Then in football, everything can happen. Felipe Anderson on the right side, Koopmeiners a bit as an advanced midfielder, a bit like a number 10, and Chiesa or Yildiz on the left, and Vlahovic on top. I don't believe that will be the formation of Juventus 24-25. If you believe that will be the formation, let me know in the comment. If you believe that this one is a Juventus that is strong and that Juventus needs to go for, let me know in the comment, but I don't believe that will happen. Juventus is also thinking, and that's the last news, about a goalkeeper, because Szczesny has one more year of contract. The rumors are saying that he could possibly extend, but it's not sure, and if he doesn't extend, he would love to finish his career at Juve, or at least one more year, and then trying something else, maybe going back to UK, where he always said that he would love to finishing his life as a player. Well, Juventus is thinking about Di Gregorio from Monza, a fantastic good goalkeeper. We already spoke about it. Another option could be Carnesecchi, but Atalanta is asking a lot of money. There are some people who are saying, don't forget about Donnarumma, not now, but for 2026, or maybe next summer, where the value of the player will decrease a lot. Well, people are changing. I am changing. If Donnarumma was a goalkeeper that I really wanted a few years ago, it's a player, unfortunately, that I don't want anymore at Juve. So I prefer a Di Gregorio. I prefer a Carnesecchi for be the future number one of Juventus. Not that much a Donnarumma, unfortunately. And then I want to finish with a beautiful note. Marcello Lippi, my GOAT trainer. The one that brought me a World Cup in 2006, but especially a Champions League. The last Champions League won by Juventus in 95, 96. A coach that I'm linked with the Cinque Maggio 2002, that fantastic, beautiful last day win from Juventus over Inter and Roma. A coach that gave me so much emotion. What a coach, what an allure, what a fantastic, beautiful one. So happy birthday to Marcello Lippi. That was it, guys. If you want to comment, put it here. Now I will read you. Maybe I will take one or two and making a short about it. Grazie, forza. Juve.